In this video, I'm going to show you how I use plaster of Paris to stabilize my bottling bucket. Normally what it is when it's on the counter, I try to put something under it and it wiggles back and forth and then stirs up the yeast. And so I'm going to try to have a nice solid place to put it where it won't rock back and forth. So I'm just going to dump this plaster of Paris, which I had laying around in my house for years and I never used. So I figured, well, I'll just dump it in this grocery bag here, and I'm just going to pour some water in the grocery bag and mix it up through the bag. I try not to make too big of a mess here, but after adding water, many little additions of water, you don't want to have too much, I guess. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a soupy mess, which I sort of had. But this is what I came up with. This is sort of getting down to the uniform softness and no dry spots in it. And so so I figure I'll just take the bucket and set it in this and just let this set up. It only takes about 20 or 30 minutes to set up, and then it gets pretty rock hard after that. So yeah, so I'm going to just take this up and set my bucket on it and see how this works. You know, just sort of a wild experiment. I figured, well, if it doesn't work, I'm not out or anything. I didn't even buy this plaster of Paris. So just had it sitting around the house. I forgot why we got it. Probably a kid's project or something. So anyway, I took my my bottling bucket and set it right in the bag, the grocery bag of plaster of Paris, and I just used a little cup here to keep it from, keep it tilted. I just guessed at the angle, and of course the reason I put it at an angle is so I can get more of the wort out in a clear way, as opposed to if it was flat, you would sort of end up with a very small layer, but still every little bit helps. So here's after it's set up, maybe about, I think I came back in about an hour, whatever, I didn't want to hurry it, and looks like it's going to hold the bucket okay. And this thing, you pick it up, it feels like a rock. It's heavy. You just set the bucket back down on it, and it stays there, and doesn't rock too much. A little bit, but not bad. So here's the next day, and I thought, rather, since I had the camera out and stuff, I'll just show you the first racking that I've done. So yeah, so I have it set up on top of my new little rock. And there's my bottling sugar cooling off and almost ready to go. And I have that little HEPA filter thing that I just added. And so here's me adding the bottling sugar. That's a 6-liter plastic bottle. And gonna stick the racking cane in here, and get the pressure up in the bottling bucket so that the siphon starts to flow. So a few pumps on the pump, the little ball pump there I got through a HEPA filter, and voila, it starts running, and down into the 6-liter Tap-A-Draft or Miller Lite Home Draft or Coors Light Home Draft or whatever. I've got all those different things. So anyway, I won't get into too much detail here, but the next bit of bottling sugar, and then switch. So basically, if you haven't seen it in my other videos, you take a 5-gallon batch and you rack it into 3 of these 6-liter bottles, which is pretty equivalent to a 5-gallon batch. So anyway, we go ahead and put the next one in the assembly line of 3. Put the cap on there, and we're ready to go on with the third one. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you my last bottle didn't come out quite full, and I put bottling sugar in those other 2, but this third one I'm just going to force carbonate. And I thought I'd, again, camera was out, so I figured I'd leave it on, show you this. Never shown a real example of me doing the hobo cap. I call it a hobo cap. I learned that from a friend of mine, Eric. At least that terminology. I actually was using it before, but I didn't know what to call them. So anyway, it's just a tire stem, and this is a CO2 bike tire filler. And so you add a little CO2, not too much, so it doesn't get, the bottle gets hard as a rock, you know, and you don't want to go too high. I guess you could probably fracture the bottle, but just over and over again. And each time you shake it, you'll notice that the bottle gets soft again, and then you push more CO2 into it, and then you shake it again. And then pretty soon you get about 16 grams of CO2 in. And I put a balloon on the top so I can tell if it's leaking. And so anyway, hope you enjoyed it. The little plaster of Paris experiment, I think it worked out pretty good. The racking worked out well, and the bottling bucket was pretty stable. Hope you enjoyed it.